welcome back. Obviously, you guys liked the last video, so you came back. I'm your girl, Kiara Shanice, and you are here on Nisi Says, and we are doing this review of, and we're here doing this review on, what we're on, All American Season 3, Episode 2. Okay, so, where did we stop off? Where did we stop off last time? I can't even remember. We just gonna go get ahead into it. Okay, so All American Season 3, Episode 2. We got Spencer and Layla, little Miss Layla. They are in Spencer's bedroom. Look like she didn't spend the night or something. I don't know. I'm not really sure. But she's crawling all out of bed, putting her clothes on, calling herself trying to sneak out. And Spencer is like, baby girl, if my mama was gonna catch us, she would have caught us by now. Ain't no sneaking around that woman. She a black woman. I don't like them together. I don't. I really don't. Okay, so we got Spencer's first day of school back at Crenshaw High, and it's his senior year. So him and Coop, they meet up. They like, hey, how you doing? They give each other a hug. It's like, oh, we miss you, we miss you, we miss you. Spencer feeling himself. Everybody is like, hey, Spence, what's up, Spencer? Treating him like a celebrity. So he gets to homeroom, I'm assuming. And he feeling himself. Everybody's happy he's home. And so he thinks. And then we get to meet Franklin Aloysius Mumford in homeroom. And he like, I don't get why y'all, tripping over Spencer. Like, he ain't no hero or nothing. He is the reason we lost state, or did y'all forget? And Chris, him and Spencer, they been friends for a while. So Chris, he kind of jumps in and kind of speaks up for Spencer. Like, you know what? We lost state because, shit, Beverly was the better team, and that's on that. And then Franklin gonna clap back and say, why you even got this dude back? Ain't he the one that put you in a wheelchair? Almost put you in a wheelchair for the rest of your life, matter of fact. Or did you forget? So now we got Olivia. She gonna meet the coach's daughter, Vanessa, aka the new girl. Okay, so Layla being Layla, of course, she introducing the new girl to, people around the school, being her, trying to be the good Samaritan or whatnot. So they roll up on Liv in the hallway, and she's like, hey, Liv, this is the new coach's daughter, Vanessa. And Olivia, she wasn't really paying no mind, and then she looked, and she's like, what you doing here? Layla was like, Liv, what, girl? What is you talking about? Didn't I just say she, the new coach's daughter? I'm showing her around. She's new. And Olivia, she just kind of like freaks out and storms off. We get to meet the new coach. And guess what? The new coach is actually a female coach. Not in 2021. Right. Anyway, so the team, they get to meet the new coach. They come to find out she's a female. Everybody's all shell shocked. Anyway, she is coming in and she is coming for blood, baby. She got everybody on the chopping block. She pretty much letting them know, look, tryouts is coming up, and yeah, y'all got to audition. And you can kind of see that Jordan is kind of doubting himself a little bit now that Spencer's gone, his dad's gone, and there's kind of those little daddy issues he got going on, and we'll kind of get more in depth into that later on into the episode. Okay, so now we got Asher. He is lingering around, the coach's office, so he finally builds up the courage to go inside. And he, trying to introduce himself. And she's like, pretty much like, yeah, I know who you are. You're Asher. And she kind of busts him out on that little steroid usage thing he had going on. They got him suspended off the team in the first place. But anyway, long story short, he came in and asked her, would she consider talking to the principal about overturning that suspension? And she pretty much told him, like, no, when you use steroids, you gotta, face the consequences. And yeah, I agree. Okay, now we back at Crenshaw, and Coach Billy Baker is meeting the team for the first time, and he's coming in, trying to do his little welcome speech and talk about how he went to school there and all this. And Franklin Aloysius Mumford is not having it. He is just like, yeah, whatever, get out of here, dude. Coach Beverly, like, whatever. Ain't nobody trying to hear that. And Billy, he checked him. He was like, look, I don't know what your problem is, but you need to get some egg right. I'm just paraphrasing. You need to get you some egg right, because I'm the coach of this here team. Alright? But anyway, where we at? I done lost my thing. Okay, so finally Darnell and Chris, they speak up, and they was letting them know that, due to the recent changes in the, what you want to call it, put it this way, you gotta have a certain GPA to play sports at the high school. And the new principal, he decided to raise that minimum GPA standard, so a lot of the players were not up to par as far as their grades, so they really couldn't play. So you can kind of see where Principal Messi, Big Mad Messi, is kind of, being childish, because he's, directly taking hits at Coach Baker, as we can see. What's next? You the player. I'm the coach, and you let me worry about what I gotta worry about, and you worry about what you gotta worry about, which is their arm and getting it right for state championship. Understood? And Spencer was like, say less. Yes, sir. Do you? Do you, boo? Then we got Spencer. He gonna hang back. He's hanging back, and he trying to give, Coach Baker some pointers on how to, kind of win the team over and gain their respect, as he says. And Coach Baker is kind of, put Spencer in his place. Like, look, hold on, wait, no. I don't have to gain their respect. You listen, I went to this high school. I won championships. They gotta earn my respect. Okay, so now we back at Beverly. And Coach Lady, they didn't have their little, tryouts or whatnot. Jordan played his little heart out, bless his little heart. And she, of course, he got the QB1 spot. He's happy, he's excited, and all of that. But we gonna circle back around to that. He's excited. Of course, he got the spot. Okay, so we got Spencer and Black Lives Matter chick. Let me stop. I can't think of her name. I think it's Kia. So we got Spencer and Kia. I hope I'm getting it right. But we got Spencer and Kia back at Crenshaw, and they're talking in the hallway, and talking about the guys really giving Coach Baker a hard time, and Spencer is not really winning them over, so to say, either. And from a distance, we can see Chris and Darnell down in the hallway, and from where we seeing, we can't really tell what they talking about or the nature of the conversation. So as we get closer, we hear them, kind of sound like they going at it, and they about to really get into it. And Spencer roll up on them like, what is going on? And Kia, she takes Darnell, and she's like, y'all can't play together no more. Come on, let's go. So Spencer is like, Chris, dude, like, what is up? Like, we trying to get the team together, and what it look like you as the captain, fighting another player. So Chris was like, well, I can do that, try to get the team together, but I do need something from you, though. I need you to talk to Coach Baker and, put in a good word for me, because I'm trying to get my QB1 spot, and I'm just, here to let Darnell know that that's me, you know what I'm saying? So, you my boy, put in a good word for me. You do this favor for me, I do this favor for you. Okay, so now we got Spencer at his doctor's appointment, and he is getting his results because, you know, as we talked about in the last episode, where Coach Baker was going to get him an appointment with one of the best doctors available. So they got that, and the doctor come out and tell him, you know, well, your shoulder has healed. Well, we don't see any damages, so, you know, I agree with your first opinion. Everything is fine physically. Alright, so now we are back at Crenshaw, and we got Coach Baker and the player, I don't know what they call the Crenshaw football players. They on the field, and he really just letting them know, like, if we gonna be champions, we gotta act like champions, we gotta look like champions, and we gonna start by keeping our home clean. And here go Franklin Aloysius Mumford again, popping off at the mouth, talking about, do we look like some janitors to you? Like, I didn't sign up for this. I came to play football. And Coach Baker is headed up to here with him. I mean, to here. I know he ain't about this tall, but he just headed up to here with him. You hear me? So he's like, look, I'm sick of you. Like, I'm done playing with you. Like, if you got a problem with how I want to coach this team, anybody else got a problem how I want to coach this team, y'all can bounce. And so he was like, you know what? I think I will bounce. I'm not paying to get yelled at. And he walks off. And Coach Baker he's kind of stunned. He's like, you know, what do you mean by he's not paying to get yelled at? And Spencer was like, yeah, Coach, you know, Principal Big Mad, what his name is, Principal Big Mad, cut our funding, and we gotta pay for uniforms, away games and all of that. We gotta come out of pocket. And Coach Baker is like, what? Since when? And he was like, since now. And so we got Coach Baker. He rushed into the school and he rolled up on a principal dude. And he's like, look, whatever issues you got with me and that we had in the past, look, we can handle that on a different day. But don't punish my team. Don't punish my boys for that. And the principal, Big Mad, I can't think of his name right now. He's like, don't flatter yourself. Like, there are other activities that go on at the school that does not revolve around football, and there's other students here that don't revolve around your boys. So pretty much y'all just gonna have to figure it out, have a fundraiser, do something. Okay, so we got Asher and the new girl, aka Vanessa, aka the coach's daughter, aka the side piece from Mexico. Alright, so he in the locker room getting his little workout on. We see you, Asher, showing out. Anyway, and the new girl, she walks into her little behind in with them little Days of Duke song, talking about she wanted to know what was up and why Asher was acting so strange with her earlier. And I'm like, girl, you know damn well why he was acting strange. She wanted to know, like, did you tell your girlfriend? Because she was acting a little weird too. And Asher, he assured her, like, no, we really didn't talk about Summer, so I can assure you that she
does not know about you or anything that happened this summer. We gonna get to that.
I am confused. We gonna get to that. And Layla and Olivia, they are at the cafe. I'm going to call it the cafe because I can't think of the name of this little restaurant they be at. So I'm going to call it the cafe. So Layla and Olivia are at the cafe eating their little french fries. And Coop roll up like, listen, I don't appreciate you. You want to explain it? She trying to see why her money is funny, honey. So she pull up on Layla. She like, look, you want to explain this? And Layla like, explain what? And she was like, don't I need to have more zeros on here? And Layla was looking like, so you trying to say I'm stealing from you? And she was like, I wouldn't be surprised if she brought up something she said something like, to the nature of, I wouldn't be surprised, or maybe that just runs in your family or something to that nature, in reference to what had happened to Patience. And come to find out, yeah, we're gonna get to that. Come to find out, Layla's daddy had done Patience dirty, and we're gonna get to that later on, towards the end of the episode. This is just a side note. Is this the same Mrs. Baker from the previous 2 seasons? Because this looked like a whole nother lady, and I'm not even trying to be funny. Like, she looks different. That's all I'm gonna say. She looks different, and I'm not even saying it in a bad way, but she looks different. Like, is that the same lady? Y'all comment down below. Let me know what y'all think. Is that the same lady? I know that's not even the topic, but I just want to know what y'all think. Am I the only one who thinks she looks like a different lady? Okay, let's move on. Moving on. We are going to Mo and Preach. They meet up at the club, so we find out that Mo and Preach has history together. I wonder what type of history they have together. I don't know. Anyway, so they get into, these things. I'm assuming they must have dated or messed around or something like that back in the day. And Preach, pretty much said, look, I don't know what you want from me, but I don't want nothing to do with you or whatever you got going on. And whatever this history we have, that's exactly what it is. History. And we are back at the James's residence. We got Grace and Spencer talking. He's in there pretending like he's reading a book. And his mama Grace, she know everything. She just, she got the spirit of the ancestors with her walking. But anyway. And so she walks in. She know her boy. She like, you want to talk about it or you want me to ask you? And he was like, well, if you already know, what's the point in asking? She was like, because I want to hear your voice or something like that. Anyway, so she pretty much asks him, what's going on, being a little bit more serious and telling him, she know he is stressed out and he has a lot on his shoulders as far as, coming back to Crenshaw, everybody depending on him feeling like he got the weight of the community on his back when literally he kind of does, so I don't know how he gonna really forget about that. He went on to tell her about Chris and Darnell, how they been, kind of beefing about this QB1 position, and that he really don't want to be in the middle, but they trying to make him choose. Okay, so Grace, she asked Spencer, she was like, well, how you feel about that? And Spencer was like, well, Darnell, he's pretty, he's good. He led the Chargers to state last year, and he really worked hard for that spot, And then he was like, but Chris, on the other hand, he my day one. He worked hard, and I don't think he should, lose his spot just because he got injured, And Darnell kind of walked in on that last part. He didn't really hear what Spencer had to say about him, so he took offense to that. And he, kind of told Spencer, I see how you really feel, thanks for nothing, thanks for looking out, good looking out, And now we're going to switch on over to Olivia and Asher. So I think they at the cafe, if I'm not mistaken. And she casually brings up, no, they're at school. She casually brings up the new girl, aka Vanessa, aka the coach's daughter. She brings her up, try to, see what kind of reaction she gonna get out of him, what kind of body language he gonna be giving off. And by the way he responded, she knows. I mean, well, she already knew, but now it's been confirmed. And now we're gonna switch back over to Coach Baker and Spencer. They decide to put their differences aside and, decide, look, we in this thing together. We both fighting a uphill battle, so we can get through this, better together. Spencer was like, you know what, I'm down for that, Coach, but as head coach, I think is one thing that you need to do right now, and that is settle this QB1 situation so Chris and Darnell can stop beefing about it and they can, keep their head on straight and everybody else can get in line. And Coach was like, yeah, you know what, you're right. And he turns and he asks Spencer the very question that Spencer has been dreading.
Who do you think should get the QB1 spot?
They are out on the football field, and we have Billy Baker. He is actually, there to actually extend an olive branch to Franklin, in hopes that he can possibly come back to the team. And he even puts up his entire salary towards, the football team as an incentive. So, that was pretty dope of him to do. Okay, so now we got Layla and Spencer at the school. And they're listening to this artist that, Patience kind of hinted about because, she signed that NDA. So they listening, and Layla's like, this, Spencer's like, yeah, this actually does sound like something that Patience would write. And Layla was like, no, this is exactly what Patience wrote. This is about her relationship with her and Coop. And this would explain, why she left the tour, right? So here we are back at Crenshaw, and Coach Baker is announcing the QB1 position. And lo and behold, Chris won. And Darnell is crushed, of course, and Spencer is looking kind of surprised and disappointed all at the same time, which is making me wonder what he had to say when the coach asked him who he thought should get the spot. So I'm starting to think he didn't say his day one Chris. So Chris, he walks up to thank Spencer, and Spencer was like, I'm not gonna even lie to you, bro. I told him to go with Darnell. And Chris was like, what? Because he, at this point, he feel like, we supposed to be boys. You my day one. Like, dude, if you didn't want to help me, you shouldn't have said nothing at all. But instead, you gonna go and throw me under the bus. Which, I could kind of understand why he would feel that way. And Chris was pretty much like, I'm starting to think the naysayers was right about you. So, yeah, that kind of got Spencer feeling some kind of way. Okay, so we got Gangsta Layla. She roll up in the cafe like, look, she stepped the coop. Like, look, nobody cheating you. The venues that we played at was small. If you want to make some big money and you want me to book some bigger venues, you need to put out an album. And until then, don't step to me with that bullshit no more. And she also stepped to Patience. She was like, look, I know what my father did to you was effed up, but sign with me and you won't have to worry about that bullshit no more. She done came in and stepped the coop, and she done stole Patience from her daddy's record label. Go ahead on, girl, with your bad self. I still don't like you. Now we got Miss Olivia and Layla again. Girl, they best friends, so what we expect? So they at the little cafe, and Layla is telling how she bossed up and how she stepped the coop and how she stole Patience from her daddy. And then we see Spencer, he on his way out, and he actually looks over and see Layla and Olivia talking. So he walks over, to say goodnight or whatnot. And him and Layla gonna start kissing, and Spencer being messy. Gonna look at Olivia talking about some good night, Liv. You miss it, Spencer. And Olivia is like kind of uncomfortable, and Layla can, kind of sense something is going on. She was like, look, what is going on with you? You was acting weird earlier today with Vanessa, and now you acting weird around Spencer. What's up? And so Olivia, she finally comes clean. She was like, look, listen, I lied about this summer and why I couldn't come to the Vegas trip. I decided that I was gonna go to Mexico and surprise Asher, and Lo and behold, honey, when I got there, I was the one surprised. Yes, yes, ma'am. Asher was there in Mexico living his best life, honey, with none other than Vanessa, aka the new girl, Vanessa, aka the coach's daughter. Yes, yes. We assumed it, we guessed it, we knew it. Okay, y'all, so we gonna wrap this episode up. We got Spencer and Coach Baker. They out on the football field at Crenshaw, I believe. He had some type of little assignment that he wanted them to do. So all the boys were supposed to come out there. For Spencer wasn't cracking no smile. He was just looking like, I really want to know why you made me choose between Chris and Darnell when you was just gonna do what you wanted to do anyway. Like, what was the point in you, putting me in the middle? Explain to Spencer that, sometimes in life, we're going to have to make tough decisions, y'all. We're going to have to make tough decisions. And a lot of the times, we may not agree with those decisions in that moment. But at the end of the day, we still have to do what's best in that moment. So there goes to say, what's best for you today may not be what's best for you tomorrow. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Yeah, that's it, y'all. That is the last page of my notes. And y'all, I'm waiting on episode 3 to come out so I can go ahead on and get that review recorded and up for y'all. So comment, like, subscribe down below. Let me know what y'all think. And also, I'm going to have my links to my other social medias somewhere down there, up in here somewhere. So I'm going to see y'all in the next one.